Hello everyone, welcome back to Sara's Stories. As you know, we are doing this innovative series called the 17 SDG Stories, where I'm sharing stories related to all the Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goals are 17 goals given by the United Nations to be achieved by 2030. So let's begin our third SDG, which is good health and well-being. So the story I'm going to share with you today is the Hakim's Challenge. Once upon a time, there was a king who ruled a kingdom, and this king was very fat. And all his subjects were very thin. So everywhere the king would go, he would feel that everybody was laughing at him. So one day, as he was walking through the streets, he told his minister, "Look, everybody is laughing at me. It is because I'm fat." And the minister said, Your Majesty, maybe if everyone were as fat, plump as you, they wouldn't laugh at you. The king said, "Wow, this is a wonderful idea. Let's do it. Let's have an announcement in the kingdom that everybody has to grow plump fat within a month." The minister said, Oh, what have I done? I have put my foot in my mouth. Everybody has to get fat. And so the orders were spread. There were drums beaten and the announcements were made that everybody is to grow fat. If they don't grow fat, they'll be thrown out of the kingdom. They'll be banished. So everyone had no choice. And within a month, when the king was taking another round of the kingdom, he looked with his fat belly. "Look, minister, there is nobody who is thin now. Nobody is laughing at me." And as the king and his minister walked back to the palace, they saw that the king's daughter, the princess, had grown more than fat. She was that big. And the king said, "Oh, look at my daughter." The minister said, "Yes, Your Majesty, look at your daughter. I think she has enjoyed your eating order. And now she's so overweight. What do? We have to slim her down. She'll have health issues. She'll have complications." And so the king said, I'll have to think of something else. And the king thought of a plan. He said, "Anybody who can slim my daughter down will marry her." And that is how an incentive was also offered. And so everybody knew how much the princess loved eating and nobody came to try. Many days passed and there was a thin man who had come to the kingdom to try his luck in business. And he was so thin that the guards caught him and said, "Hey you, don't you know the king's order is supposed to be fat to live in this kingdom?" The man said, "That's a very strange thing. No, I don't know about this order." Then the guard said, "Have you come as a suitor for the princess?" Princess, "Suitor? Okay, let's go to the king and see." And the man went to the king and he said, "Sir, I'm a suitor to the princess. Can you tell me what the conditions are?" So the king explained that anybody who can thin her down will marry her. And the king led the man to the princess. Now the princess was busy gorging on some food that she could lay her hands on. And the man saw her and he said, This is a difficult case. Now what shall I do?" And he said, "Can I see your palm, please, princess?" The princess gave her palm and she continued eating with her other hand. And the king said, "What happened? Why are you taking her hand?" The man said, "I'm an astrologer. I can predict what's her future." And he looked through the lines and he said, "Oh, princess, you're going to die in 100 days. The princess was so upset, so furious that she threw her plate down. And she began to cry. She said, "Father, what is this? Who is this man?" And the king was even angrier. He said, 100 days, Throw this man into prison and we'll see at the end of 100 days. If she's not dead, then you will die." And the man is thrown into prison. Now the princess has grown so sick of living the way she was. She's so upset by what she's heard that she stops eating completely. And at the end of 100 days, the princess is sitting by her father, and the father, the king, calls the man. And the man arrives. And the king says, "You'll be executed tomorrow. Look, my daughter is still alive." The man says, "Yes, she is alive. But look at her. Isn't she beautiful and slim now?" And the king looked at her, and the daughter looked at herself, and she says, "Oh, I've thinned down. I didn't even realize." And the king said, "Very well. This is great. You have fulfilled the challenge, and you shall marry her." And that is how the man and the princess were married. Now, the point I was bringing through this story is that when you're not healthy in your mind, when you think of downsides, like the girl was thinking of her impending death and she stopped eating, she lost interest in everything. Good health is everything, whether it is physical or it is mental. When the girl was overweight, she was not able to do any tasks that we can do in our routine. And when she was bogged down mentally, she couldn't work even further. And that's the point I'm bringing to this story. And I hope you liked the story. Stay tuned to my channel, subscribe to the channel, and tomorrow is a new day, a new SDG story.